All right, so real quick before we jump into this video, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that watched the last video and all the new subscribers. Thank you for that. I appreciate all the comments and all the different ideas and stuff on this build. Now, I did just get back from Florida, got the other roof, and it is even better than it looked in the pictures. So we'll get there. Probably next year sometime. I'm gonna get this customer work caught up, and then we can get this back on the road. All right, let's get to the video. Check out all these treasures. 60 euro. Got a Zwitter. Standard split. What was this thing? A Fiat or a Renault? Yeah. Fiat on a bug chassis. This is all, I'm over at Lower Class Garage. You can follow him on YouTube also. Very cool. Very cool cars. 59 euro rag. But I grabbed the junkiest ones that they had here in typical fashion for me. And then, check this out. I mean, how cool is that? All original seats under there. Super cool. Oh, sorry, it's not a Zwitter. Really awesome. So, like I said, I bought the junkiest ones that they had. And it worked out because that 57 euro Gia that I've been doing all the metal work on, I'm gonna end up coming back and buying the rear chunk of this because I needed the apron and all that. Probably these sections between the tail lights. But 256s, one rag top, and this is the one I had already put a deposit on and come after. And I mean, I deal with some junk, but I started getting cold feet when I seen it. And in that car, I'd seen it and I was like, no, I don't want that. I don't need that car. Sure enough, look, it had to have them both. It's a true sickness. So, all right, I don't want to burn up too much more of this guy's time. I'm gonna finish up here and get on the road, and then I'll show you more of it when I get home. Just got back home, and before I offload these cars, this is the hard top. I wanted to show the floor pans. Now this is on what he said it was a 64 pan, but check out the floor pans. And these are original pans, frame head. Pans are nice shape, heater channels, not bad. Look at the bottom of the original quarter, you know, it's not replaced or bondoed up. This door is very solid on the passenger side. It's just a lot easier to do this while it's on the trailer. You can see surface rust, of course, but nothing bad. Original bullet fenders on this one. And the correct ribbed rear fenders, which they need a little love, but just wanted to show this before I offload it, like I said. Pretty dang solid considering. This side's got a little bit of rot going there. The apron's not rotted out. It's got a little beat up, but it's not rotten. All this very solid up under here. Clean. Here's the other side. A little bit of rot here. Nothing crazy. It's kind of hard to get it on this side. It's like spring plates adjusted differently. You can see, typical. This is why when I replace pan halves, I quit putting these on. Because this is what it always does, is crunches this up, whether they're solid or they got any rust in them. But again, the bottom of the quarter, solid. You can see the door's got a little bit going in it. I did grab another door, a Turkish door, but there's no rot. Hinges aren't sprung. A couple of dings in it that you can kind of pick up from here by the door handle. And just to be clear, these doors up to 64, all you gotta do is weld up that, as long as it has, well, this one's got the door handles on it, but this one doesn't. As long as the doors have this mechanism with the rod sticking out, not the flatter style plate, and you can just unbolt them and rebolt them. If you weld this hole up, it's the same door. Now I have seen some of them, and I can't speak today. These are both 56 cars. I have seen, like, this one's got this oval cut out in it for the latch. I'll go around and show the other side. This one, which also has its original doors on it. See, it doesn't. And that side doesn't either. That's really it, but when you put a door panel on it, you're never gonna see that anyway. That is the only difference in the push button doors and the ice pick doors. So you can take later doors, weld that hole up, and it may or may not, you know, have that oval on the inside access, but they're identical. So you can swap them out, is all I'm getting at. Let me show the rest of this underneath. I kind of got off track there with the door. Channel. 4-pan. This car is in way better shape than the ragtop, but you know, it's been bumped in the nose just like the other one has. This door is on here, but the screws are loose. The dash has been cut. The roof, you can see, I try to block out the daylight here. You can see daylight through it because it's been knocked down and water sat in it. Anyway, we'll get into it a little more when I get it off, but this one, you can see the frame head damage, the rot, daylight everywhere because it's real ate up. This one, somebody's tried to patch the quarter here, you know, but getting into the back, it's crowned here in the package tray. You can kind of see the slope to it. Wheel wells ate up. Heater channels are really ate up, but the lighting's horrible. So I'll get these offloaded, then we'll dig a little deeper into this. So I just want to show real quick. Got the fenders off the front here and pulled off their little crappy patch. It's just like tin and resin or something, which it wasn't even as bad as what it looked like, but you know, that's gone. That one snapped off. Down here, ripped out. You can see this bubbling, but most of this is just from poor paint prep, more than it is rot through. And the front, you know, obviously has been whacked good. It's beautiful, you know. So this side, so there's their same wonderful patch. This one, let's see if I just, yeah. You can see how, yeah, that one's covering up a little bit more, you know. It doesn't matter. Snapped. Oh, that one come out. This side obviously is not as bad as the other side, but I have a feeling just do a whole new front quarter, both sides. Just get rid of all the junk altogether. So I got the hood off because it had a 67 hood on it. So I'm gonna sell that to somebody that can use it. I had these already here. There's one of the junk ones I just ripped off. That one somebody had started to cut on the bullet, but these are both, you know, German bullet fenders. That one's still got the bulb holder in it that I already had. This hood, not a 4-tab, but really nice and clean. So just in the meantime, I'm gonna throw it on there. It's got that little bit of damage, but the rest of it is very, very straight. So I'm gonna have the kids throw those on here right now, and then I'll bring it back and show you the rest of this mess. All right, you can see here, got all the parts on the front of the car. And check out the inside here. It's bad. I mean, there ain't no getting around it. It's really rough. So the doors, well, this one anyway, check that out. Right? So there's definitely pros and cons to this one. And there's lots of cons. I mean, there ain't no getting around it. You know? And then if you go, oh, that's not that bad. What about that? Then what about all of this? And then, if you just want to go, you know, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Yeah, we got all the rod around the back. Body's falling in on the pan. It's not bolted to it anymore. Up in here, where it's been crashed into, you know, we got damage here. In here, where the package tray meets this, it's separated and bowed. The bottom of this is all crowned on the package tray because the body, there's not that much left of it. You know, it is literally just sitting here. See, I can just, it's falling in on itself. And if I come around here, you know, rotted through, crappy previous patchwork, lots of rot, you know, just the same old stuff. Now on this side, this is where it got popped pretty good. Now, you can kind of see here, this gap is tighter and it grows as it comes across. Also, if you check out, that won't let me zoom anymore, but up here, you can see where it's actually pulled away from this window panel to where the headliner strip is. You can see it's pulled away. This is a little wavy in here. Below that dome light, it's indented a little bit just from the impact and absorbing it. This structure around here is okay. That's all junk. This whole package tray, you can see it is just all over the place, but most of that is just from the body falling in on itself and being transported and so on. These cross members are no good. Zoom back out here. The main package tray itself appears to be fine. Bent up, but not rotten. You know. Up here, dash, okay. A-pillars seem alright. The trunk panel, whatever you want to call it, between the gas tank and the dash, that's fine. Everything else is pretty much just junk. Now these doors, none of the doors are sprung. They're both rotted in the bottom. Channels are gone, etc., etc. I mean, it's a rusty, crusty old ragtop. Now, it was listed as they were both 56s. I ran the numbers on them. That is a 56 body. I don't think I ran the pan numbers because I didn't really care. This one, missing the body tag, but it's obviously still in the original pan. This is a 57. Very, very early 57. I mean, it was like October, something like that, of 57. You know, well, 56. 57-year model, but it was built in like October of 56, because both cars, you know, the big difference between 56 and 7s, just the easiest telltale sign, is usually, that fender's in my way here, the location of the heater outlet. 56 towards the front, 57 and later back here. And then obviously 55 up there, an oval cut out with a mesh screen behind. So if you're just looking at it, not running any numbers, you would go 56. But turns out it's just a very early 57. And obviously Volkswagen was going to use what they had before they switched over. You know, they're not going to leave old stock and just toss it. So, but that's pretty much the best overall description of these. That one I feel like I've gone over pretty well already. Just far better than this car. So there you can pretty well see the condition of these two cars I just picked up. Now the big question is, what am I going to do with them? Am I going to take two and make one? Am I going to fix them both? Or have I spent enough time processing it that I go, I need to just get a better one to start with for a show car build? Because that was really what drove me to this deal. And I had a 69 sunroof bug that was real straight, solid, and I had big plans to turn it into a full-on Trailer Queen show car. And I ended up with it. I wasn't looking for it. I ended up with it with an awesome deal, and the guy wanted me to get it so that I would, you know, build it and it would be in the right hands. Now, I was well underway with that plan. However, it wasn't a car that was on my wish list, we'll say, right? So there's some consideration and things like that. And looking at these, this car popped up and caught my attention first. And don't get me wrong, I'm attracted to the roughest stuff out there. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm always drawn to the roughest things that I see. So I saw it, kind of like that smashed roof bus, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then it just kind of kept hounding me. And after, it was at least 2 or 3 weeks, I finally gave in and said, you know, I've been wanting an oval rag. I don't have one. I need to do it. The 69 sunroof right here next to me is my 69 shop bug build. The only difference in those two cars was the one had the metal sunroof, the one that I was going to build for the show car. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of that. I had a really nice 66 sunroof. I cut it loose after I bought this 69 right here. And a big part of the reason I cut it loose was I wasn't a big fan of the metal crankback sunroof. I love the ragtops. This is my favorite out of all of them, no question. The metal crankback ones, I've just never really been a big fan of. So anyway, that just pushed me into doing this. And then I get there, it all changes, and now I'm into this mess. So kind of where am I going with this? That car there, I'm going to build that one as my show car. It's going to be all cow looked out. You can put mirrors under it, everything paint detailed. I mean, just go nuts on it, basically. That's what I'm going to do to that one. So there again, I don't care it's not on the original pan. So I just, you know, I can go nuts on it. No big deal. No harm, no foul. Plus, I'm going to build it for myself, so it really doesn't matter because I'm not selling it. This car, though, I have gone full circle from the initial purchase of going, I'm going to take the roof, I'm going to put the roof on that one, and maybe put that body back on this pan, And that way it's all, technically like a 57 rag on the original pan. Because this body, let's face it, is pretty shot. That one, on the other hand, is not. But that one could use a roof skin. Well, this one's got a good roof skin. Things like that. Just take them and put it together, because even if I go that route, there's so much of this body that's bad that it's not like taking that car and chopping that car up. You know what I mean? However, what I meant by full circle is now I'm going to build this car and that car. I want to build that into a show car and build this into either a street car or maybe possibly a Volksrad. Now, the idea for the Volksrad, just tossing this out there because I want you guys to let me know your thoughts. What would you do? One, would you fix this, or would you chop it up and put it into that and just make one good car out of the two? Or would you turn this into a Volksrad? And my plan would be just consider this car, but with John Milner's 32 Ford, the yellow hot rod in American Graffiti, kind of put those two together to get your vision, right? Or I just build a really slicked out street car. Not necessarily all correct 4-tab hood, all that mess, but a really nice driving street car, kind of that mint green from the 80s, 90s that was super popular. Another color that I've done cars in the past, but never anything that I was able to keep myself. Just like oval windows. I've had lots of these. 53, 4, 5, 6, and 7s. I've had them all. I've had 3-fold rag tops. I grafted a 2-fold rag top into another 57 because the roof was trashed. But this is the first real 2-fold rag top that I've ever had. Now, with those, another movie reference real quick, just to kind of paint the picture quickly. Gone in 60 Seconds, the remake with Nicolas Cage, the Eleanor Mustang. Something always happens and you can't keep the car. That's what's happened to me with ovals every single time. So that was another reason I pushed myself to go, okay, I'm going to get these two cars because I'm in a spot where I can get these and I'm not going to cut them loose, unlike all the previous times. But I gave up 2 cars for these 2 cars to assure that they're going to stay. So with that, they're here. I just got to figure out what I'm going to do. And I'm honestly leaning more towards building this car now than I am chopping it up. These cars are getting so hard to find. And in reality, as horrible a condition as this car's in, number one, I can fix it. Number two, the parts are available now all over. You can buy full front quarters. They've been out for a while. Aprons, spare tire wells. I mean, you can build the whole front half of this car. And I have the bullet fenders already. I have a steering column and steering wheel out of a 55, so it's the Batwing, but close enough. I like it. I've got that. I've got snowflake tail lights. These doors I would fix these doors, believe it or not, because they're not sprung. They're not beat all the heck. It's just in the bottom, not that big of a deal. So I have the parts, most of them. What I don't have is available. BBT. Anytime now, they're going to release the rear quarter panels that they've been working on for, what, 1.5 years or better now? So I will have from the door jamb all the way back to the rear apron, wheel well, all of it, that is trashed on this car. I can purchase both of those. So with all of that being available, I don't have to chop up another car that doesn't need to be chopped up to save this car. Also, I don't have to throw this car away. But then you say, but those panels are crazy expensive, aren't they? Like front quarter panel, what are they, 12, 1,300 bucks a piece? So you're talking 2,600 bucks for 2 front quarter panels? You're like, man, you're getting into some serious cash saving this versus going out and buying another body. I hear you. You're not wrong. However, for what I paid for these 2 cars, I will still be sitting really good for what I have invested into both of these cars when they are done, even if I go and buy all that nice high-end replacement metal for this car. Also, it'll be completely rust-free. I will know it from one end to the other, and I got the skills to do it, so why not? And it'd make great content for all of you, I'm sure. Seeing every little bit of that, the structure of the car, and grafting it all in there and doing all that, kind of like the Carmen Ghia that I'm doing now. There are a lot more videos of that coming out after this video. Now, with all of that, the content on this car would be a whole lot more than I'm doing on the others, because this is a personal car, and this is a direction that I'm trying to get into, getting my customer work more organized so that I can set more time aside to build these projects, because I have a lot of cool projects. I mean, here's two ovals going in two totally different directions, but also different than a lot of other people are doing. How many people are building cowl look cars nowadays, right? There are a lot of people doing metal work because we have to. I mean, there's no way around it. And I think people would really like to see me bring this one back to life. Now, then there's, the bus crowd and watching the buses get done, but it's also, are you building drivers? Are you building show cars? Are you building something in between? Hot rod, street strip cars, patina cars. Honestly, out of my personal collection here, I have a little bit of everything to go around. And that's another reason I wanted what I've got, is because I wanted to have that variety. Now, I don't want to keep going on and on about this, but I will say my initial thought when I first saw the car, before I even purchased it, anything, I was like, that would be a good Volksrad. And the reason I said that is because there's so much of the car that's damaged and rotten that when you're doing a Volksrad, you're going to chop it all off. So then you're just eliminating all that work. Now the car is a lot worse than I anticipated, and don't get me wrong, I don't want to go and spend $1,300 on a quarter panel and then go chop a third of it off and throw it away because I'm building a Volksrad. Now granted, that's part of the process. If that's the vision, you do it, but I'm just saying. So you let me know down in the comments below, what do you think I should do with this? What would you do with it? And what would you like to see? Now, I want to say again, a big thank you to all the new subscribers and all the other ones that have continued to watch my channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It's free. It really boosts the channel. Leaving comments, hitting the like button, all that really helps the channel out. I would like to grow it. The more I can grow it, the more of this kind of stuff I can build and make better content for all of you. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.